Level 0. Invisible wealth. It is 6:45 a.m. The alarm goes off. Same tone, same feeling. The one you have hated every single morning for the past 5 years. You lie there for a second, staring at the ceiling, that familiar, heavy feeling sitting right on your chest, the one that whispers, "Not again." You drag yourself out of bed. You put on a wrinkled shirt. You pour burnt coffee into a travel mug because you don't have time to actually sit and drink it like a human being. You get into a car that is 7 years old and has a scratch on the bumper you never got fixed. You pull out of your parking lot and immediately stop. Because traffic. 45 minutes of red tail lights and rain and some radio host laughing about something that is not funny. You are commuting to a beige cubicle to do a job you despise for a manager who has never once looked at you like you matter, to earn a paycheck that barely keeps up with inflation. But here's the thing. Here's the part nobody in that traffic jam knows. You do not actually have to be here. Sitting on the passenger seat of that scratched-up 7-year-old car is a phone, and on that phone is a Vanguard brokerage account. And that account has a number on it that would make every single person on that highway physically sick if they saw it. $10,402,185.00. You are a ghost. You are a stealth millionaire.
Level 1. The Paranoia. The first thing nobody tells you about having $10 million is this. It does not feel like freedom. It feels like fear. At 5% annual yield, your portfolio generates $500,000 a year, $500,000 just to exist. You wake up Tuesday and your account already made more than most people in your office will make this entire year before you brushed your teeth. And yet, you are eating a $12 salad out of a plastic container while your coworker complains about gas prices. That is when your brain breaks, because you realize the second people know you have money, you stop being a person. You become a bank with a face. Your family starts treating every holiday like a negotiation. Your friends start describing their problems in that very specific way that is really just asking you to fix it without directly asking. So you make a decision. You lie, strategically, deliberately, without guilt. You keep the Honda Civic. You rent an apartment at 30% of your fake salary. When friends vent about being broke, you nod and sigh and say, "Yeah, man, inflation is brutal." You master the art of looking aggressively average. But the secret has weight. Every conversation is a performance. Every casual question is a script you have to remember. And slowly, the paranoia builds into something else entirely.
Level 2. The silent upgrades. You cannot live like a monk forever, but a stealth millionaire does not buy Rolexes or McMansions. You buy things that are invisible. $8,000 on a custom temperature-controlled mattress. You sleep like a god, but your bedroom still looks like a standard apartment. Nobody knows. You cancel your crowded gym and rent a private keycard studio at 5 in the morning. Just you. Silence. Perfect equipment. You hire a private doctor for $15,000 a year. If you get sick, a physician is in your living room in 20 minutes. And $15,000 is 11 days of passive interest, a genuine rounding error. Here's my favorite part. You hire a private chef. Restaurant-quality food, perfectly macro-balanced, packed into the most beat-up, scratched Tupperware you can find. Your coworker asks about it? You shrug. Tell them you got really into Sunday meal prepping to save cash. They respect the hustle. They have absolutely no idea. You fly to Switzerland for 2 weeks. Private villa. $40,000. You come back slightly tan. Your boss asks what you did. You tell him you stayed home, went camping, and disconnected. He nods, goes back to his spreadsheet. Your life is running at the top 0.1% of human existence. Your public footprint is completely flat. And here's where it gets psychologically dangerous.
Level 4. The Identity Crisis.
Nobody puts this stage in the highlight reel. Somewhere between the paranoia and the power, something breaks. Not your finances, your sense of self. You have been playing a character so long you forget who you actually are. The version that laughs about being broke with coworkers, the version that nods in budget meetings, that character is so polished, so automatic, that you wear it without thinking. And then one evening you are sitting alone, and you realize you have not had a single honest conversation with another human being in over a year. Not one. You cannot talk about your portfolio, cannot talk about your travel, because the stories do not match your cover. Cannot talk about your fears, because a man with $10 million is not supposed to be afraid of anything. The money bought you freedom from financial fear, but it accidentally built you a prison made of silence. This is where most stealth millionaires either crack or evolve. The ones who crack go buy the Porsche and blow the whole cover. The ones who evolve learn this. You need, at minimum, one person who knows exactly who you really are. Not to spend money with, just to be real with. Because wealth without witness is just loneliness with a better mattress.
Level 3. The God Complex. Tuesday morning meeting. Your manager, $85,000 a year, is standing at the head of the table, red in the face, threatening the entire team over a missed quarterly KPI like it is life or death. Your coworkers are tense, shoulders up, eyes down, because for them, this paycheck is survival. You look at your manager, and you feel absolutely nothing. Not anger, not anxiety, nothing. You are watching a play, and you are the only one who knows the script is not real. That is what financial freedom actually feels like. Not the beach photo, not the passive income screenshot. This specific moment right here. You stop operating from fear. In a corporate world built entirely on fear and leverage, that makes you look terrifyingly powerful. When your boss asks you to work through the weekend, you look at him and say no, not with attitude, with the calm certainty of someone who simply cannot be threatened. Nobody knows what to do with that energy. They promote you. They offer you a $15,000 raise. You accept it with a straight face while your portfolio moved $60,000 during your lunch break. You are playing a video game with infinite lives. But eventually, the game stops being interesting. And that is when stage 4 quietly destroys you.
Level 5. The Dark Night. You thought crossing 10 million would feel like arriving somewhere. It does not. Stage 5 hits you at 3 in the morning on a Wednesday when nothing is wrong and everything is technically fine and you cannot sleep anyway. The question arrives, simple and brutal. Now what? You've removed every external pressure from your life. No boss, no deadline, no financial fear, no survival mechanism pushing you out of bed. And without pressure, without something real to push against, you realize you accidentally removed every reason to get up in the morning. Purpose cannot be purchased, and the absence of real struggle starts to feel less like freedom and more like floating, unmoored, directionless, rich, and completely lost. The only way through stage 5 is to go back to one question. Not what looks impressive, not what performs well for other people. What do you actually want to build with the time you have left? The people who answer that honestly come out of stage 5 transformed. The people who avoid it stay rich and quietly miserable for the rest of their lives. And that distinction right there is the difference between a stealth millionaire and a truly free one.
Level 6. The Escape. The double life gets heavy, slowly, quietly, heavier every single week. Until one morning you wake up and realize something so obvious it almost makes you laugh. Your most valuable asset is not the $10 million. It is the time you have left, and you are spending it sitting in traffic. So you escape, but not the way you imagined. No dramatic speech, no tell-off, no slow clap. Stealth wealth ends exactly the way it lived, quietly. 2 paragraphs. Personal family reasons. Effective 2 weeks from today. Thank you for the opportunity. You shake hands, pack a cardboard box, walk to your car, turn the key, and you do not drive home. You drive to the airport. Here's the math that makes this permanent. The 4% rule. You withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year, adjusted for inflation, and statistically never run out of money. 4% of 10 million is $400,000 every year.
No boss, no alarm, no traffic, no performance. Tokyo, the Swiss Alps, 6 months in South America, 6 months wherever you feel like after that. Your real life, the one that was always waiting, finally begins.